Management sims, by their very nature, are a very niche genre, but those who get into these games can never quite manage to find their way out. And one management sim in particular that genre fans have loved over the years is, of course, Rollercoaster Tycoon. Soon, Limbic Entertainment and Bandai Namco will be delivering their own wacky take on the genre with Park Beyond, a game that may not have dominated the headlines over recent months, but has certainly caught the eye with what it's promising to bring to the table. Ahead of its launch just a few days from now, here we're going to go over a few key details that you should know about. Premise. Let's start with the basics. What exactly is Park Beyond? In a nutshell, it's a management sim where you'll build and manage your own theme park. If you're familiar with this genre, you already know the drill. You'll start off with a patch of land, and using your limited resources, you'll build something basic yet serviceable. And then bit by bit, as you start getting more traffic and more money in, you'll improve various aspects of your park to keep on making it progressively better, more elaborate, and more complex. That's a solid premise in and of itself, of course, but Park Beyond is doing a few things different to set itself apart from its peers. IMPOSSIFICATION.
Great job, guys! This has a lot of potential!
The key mechanic that's looking like Park Beyond's biggest and most interesting selling point is what the developers have dubbed IMPOSSIFICATION. Plain and simple, the IMPOSSIFICATION system will allow you to build rides that don't have to abide by the laws of physics and gravity. As such, safety and precautions will go out the window, and you'll instead be encouraged to build the craziest and most ridiculous rides that you can. From gravity-defying Ferris wheels to roller coaster tracks that weave their way through tunnels and mountains, and anything else that you can imagine or conjure up. Amazement. Park Beyond will allow players to get creative with IMPOSSIFICATION versions of rides, but it will, as you might imagine, adopt a structured approach in that you'll have to research and unlock new ways to impossify your rides. To do that, in turn, you'll need to accumulate amazement, which will essentially be generated by park visitors as they experience the rides in your park, with impossible rides generating greater amounts. Customizing rides and facilities. Developer Limbic Entertainment is promising an extensive amount of controls over customizing all aspects of your park, from rides to facilities. Players will be able to freely build across massive parks and have control of granular aspects like the shapes, sizes, and colors of the paths that you're building, the prices of your rides, the inventories and prices of different kinds of shops and facilities, having different various buildings, adding unique colors, lights, and music to rides, freely placing a wide variety of decorative elements, and much more. Maps. While the most important thing in a game like Park Beyond is obviously going to be the rides you build and how you choose to customize the park, players will also have options for a variety of different maps to set their theme parks in. While an exact number of maps hasn't yet been confirmed, we do know that there will be several biomes, including deserts, Mediterranean landscapes, alpine mountains, and more, with each also having different variations, from a desert with an oasis to one that's essentially a scorched wasteland. Terraforming. As you'd expect from a game like Park Beyond, players will also have access to a full terraforming toolset to shape the land on the map however you see fit in order to make the kind of park that you'll want to make. You'll be able to make mountains and tunnels through which you can build tracks for your roller coaster. You can make lakes and water bodies, and much more. Advisors and staff. A crucial part of building and managing your park will, of course, be building up a staff that can help you do that. That will require everything from hiring staff to keeping your park clean to safety officers and more. Players will also frequently receive ideas from advisors, and whether or not that falls within the parameters of the kind of park that you want to make, which will be your decision. Advisors will often also float conflicting ideas, like an especially complex ride that may or may not be financially viable, where once again you'll have to make the final decision. Board members. Another aspect of the management side of Park Beyond will be making sure that board members of your theme park are happy with what you're doing. That will entail regular meetings with the board, where you'll be pitching ideas for your park, and where presumably how well the park is doing under your management will influence the board's decision. Exactly how big of an impact these will have on overarching progress remains to be seen. Visitors. Of course, just as important as the staff, if not even more important, will be the people visiting your park after all. It's their money that you ultimately want. Park Beyond looks like it'll have a fairly heavy emphasis on studying social trends and looking at visitors and their dynamically changing demands to see what rides may or may not be popular. Ensuring that ride you're building aligns with what would drive a larger crowd is going to be key to helping your park grow bigger and more successful. Modes. What exactly can you expect from Park Beyond in terms of what modes it'll offer? It's going to be pretty standard on that front if you have experience with the genre. For starters, there will be a campaign where you'll start off with restricted budgets and limited options and will slowly make your way through different sets of objectives to unlock greater options, progressively make more money, and continuously keep building bigger and better and more elaborate rides and parks. Then there will be the sandbox mode, where, as the name suggests, you can pretty much play however you want, including turning on infinite money, the need to research and unlock new rides, and more. PC requirements. Park Beyond will be available on PS5 and Xbox Series X and S at launch. Given the kind of game this is, it goes without saying that a large chunk of the audience will be on PC. And what specs exactly will your PC need to run the game? On minimum settings, you'll need either an i7-3770 or a Ryzen 5 1400, along with either a GeForce GTX 660 or a Radeon HD 7870 for 1080p, or a GeForce GTX 1060 or a Radeon R9 Fury for 4K. Meanwhile, on recommended settings, you'll need either an i7-7700K or a Ryzen 5 3600, along with either a GeForce GTX 970 or a Radeon R9 290X for 1080p, or a GeForce RTX 2060 Super or a Radeon RX 6700 XT for 4K. On either setting, you'll also need 12GB of RAM and about 30GB of free storage. Hey, did you know that we at GamingBolt upload new videos every day? Stick around, drop a like, subscribe, and hit that bell, and let us know what kind of content you'd like to see in the future with a comment below.